And we are continuing sets. In the last class, I introduced you about the concept of subset. Subset of a set is a set containing few elements of the given set. Okay? Or otherwise, A is mentioned as the subset of B if every element of A is in B. Like that we defined you in the last class. Now, see, all the subsets of the set containing alpha, beta, gamma, as we discussed in the last class, these are the all subsets, and we say this is the subset with zero elements. Subsets with zero elements, and these are subsets with one element, and these are subsets with two elements, and these are subsets with three elements. Okay, so when you are thinking about the subsets of a set having three elements, so there are different types of subsets based on the number of elements in the subset. Subsets having one element, subsets having two elements, and subsets having three elements, and subsets having zero elements. See, among all these things, if you observe, this subset with zero elements is mentioned as empty subset. Okay, subsets with zero elements is mentioned as empty subset. Since it is empty subset, then all these remaining are non-empty subsets. Okay, non-empty subsets. And the next thing is the set. Every set is subset of itself. I mentioned here 2 points as a note. Every set is a subset of itself. The set again completely alpha, beta, gamma is again a subset for the given set, and this set is mentioned as the improper subset. Only this set is mentioned as the improper subset, and since this set is improper, then all these remaining subsets are proper subsets. Okay, see, there are different types of classifications in subsets. Okay, proper and improper, empty and non-empty, subsets with zero elements, one elements, two elements, and three elements, and sometimes we call these subsets as subsets with one elements as singleton subsets also. So this is the classification related to the subsets. Okay, right. And the next thing is, see, I have a set alpha, beta, gamma, and if you name the set as some m, okay, m is a set having the elements alpha, beta, gamma, and all these are the subsets of this alpha, beta, gamma. For some time, if you leave that all classification, okay, empty set, non-empty subset, improper subset, proper subset, subsets with the number of elements, if you leave all this classification, then all these are the subsets of the given set alpha, beta, gamma. And see, if you enclose all these subsets again in a set, what I am telling you is, if you enclose all these subsets again in a set, and that set is mentioned as the power set of the given set. Okay, this is called phi c. I am mentioning you phi c, which is the power set. Okay, power set of given set. Power set of given set is just nothing but set of all these subsets of the given set. For suppose if I have a set, and now I am comfortable to write all these subsets of that given set, and after that if I enclose all these subsets in another set, and that newly formed set is called as the power set of the given set. I think it is very clear, right? Power set of a set is just nothing but is a set, and in that set the elements are the subsets of the original set. Okay, so for suppose if we are saying this is M, a set named as M alpha, beta, gamma, then all these subsets which are enclosed in this braces as a set is called power set of M. Power set of M, and it is usually denoted by, see, some P of M. Okay, usually we use this type of P of M is mentioned as power set of M. Okay, so once again I am repeating you, power set of a set is nothing but it is a set of all the subsets of the given set. Is it clear? Yeah, right. Can I move for the next point? So in fifth point, 5th A is about the definition of subset, 5B listing all the subsets, 5C is the about power set, and 5D is about superset. Okay, I will give you here. Yeah. Superset is nothing but just it is other form for the subset, that's it. 5D. Okay, about superset. So it's simply if A is subset of B, if A is subset of B, then B is called superset of A. Is it clear? Just like less than and greater than. Okay, if A is less than B, then we say B is greater than A. In such a manner, if A is subset of B, then B is called superset of A. So for suppose if we have two sets with us like A and B, among these two sets, A is the smaller one and B is the larger one, such that every element of A is in B, then we say that this A is the subset of B and that B is the superset of A. In this particular context, see, I have a set M whose elements are alpha, beta, gamma, and I listed all its subsets like this. Okay, and now look there, all these are the subsets of the given set alpha, beta, gamma, and the same manner this M set containing alpha, beta, gamma is mentioned as a superset for all these given sets. And as a notation for subset, we use this notation. Okay, A is subset of B, and since B is superset of A, then we use this notation. Okay, just look there. This is, see, just like less than, and we say it as subset, and just like greater than, we say it as superset. Okay, don't use V-shaped symbols. You need to use U-shaped symbols. Okay, not like this, like this. Okay, so superset is just nothing but if A is subset of B, then automatically we will say that B is superset of A. That's it. Just have a look. Subset, and then list of subsets, and then power set, and then superset. Okay, just have a look. And one more thing is, just it's a simple notation related to the subset and improper subset. Once again, I will give you those two notations in 5E. Okay. Yeah. See, that notation is also helpful in understanding different problems at least. Okay. 5E. If A is subset of B, if A is subset of B, then surely we say that A is proper subset of B. Okay, A is proper subset of B. Or otherwise, if A is subset or equals to B, then we say that A is maybe improper also. Okay, A may be proper or improper. So then A is either proper or improper subset of B. Okay, if you don't know about a subset, whether it is proper or improper, then you need to use this particular notation. Okay, and if you surely know it as a proper subset, then you need to use this particular notation. Okay, see, once again, if you think there, A is subset or equals to B, in the sense every element of A is in B, and sometimes A is equals to B also. Is it clear? Now there is a chance to decide one more thing. Yeah, I will give you in 5F. If you look there, if A is subset of B and B is subset of A, what will happen? 5F. If A is subset or equals to B and B is subset or equals to A, then what we need to say? A is subset or equals to B means every element of A is in B, or sometimes A is equals to B also. B is subset or equals to A means every element of B is in A, and sometimes B is equals to A also. If every element of A is in B and every element of B is in A, then in this case, by combining these two, we say that A is equals to B, and we call that A comma B as equal sets. Is it okay? Okay, just have a look. Subset, superset, and then proper subset, improper subset. And then if A is subset of B and B is subset of A, then we say that A and B as equal sets. Just have a look. Just look there on the board. There is a set N, and the elements of that set N are empty set is an element, alpha is an element, singleton beta is an element, set containing gamma comma delta is an element. You need to be sure what are the elements of the set and what are not the elements of the set. Okay, once again you just look there. See, I have a bag, you may say, and I named that bag as n, and that bag is just nothing but the set n. Now in my bag empty set is there, that, see, you may say it as a pack. Okay, empty set is there, it's a pack, and alpha is there, it's another pack. Beta, set containing beta. Okay, I don't have beta there, I have set containing beta as another pack, and set containing gamma comma delta as another pack. And this bag, that in the sense the set n, contains how many elements? Only 4 elements. Okay, don't get confused. N has only 4 elements. First element is empty set, second element is alpha, third element is set containing beta, and fourth element is set containing gamma comma delta. See, I don't have gamma in my bag, I don't have delta in my bag, but I have a set containing gamma comma delta in my bag. That's what you need to get a clarity on your brain. Okay, see, I don't have beta in my bag, I have a set containing beta in my bag. At the end, you just don't count the number of elements of n as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. You need to count the number of elements just by the difference of these commas. Okay, this is an empty set, one element, this alpha is another element, this set containing beta is the third element, this set containing gamma comma delta is the fourth element. Right, and I have 4 elements. Now there is a chance to write the subsets for this n also, because if you treat them as some individual numbers like a, b, c, d, then as we discussed in 5b, there is a chance to list out all the subsets. Now here I gave you some questions. See, 2 different elements or the sets are giving in both sets of these boxes. We need to fill these boxes by using these symbols, any one of these symbols. Okay, or sometimes you may use not equals to also if you need. Okay, belongs to, not belongs to, subset and subset or equals to, subset or superset, as well as is equals to symbol or not equals to symbol. These symbols which is very proper to use, okay, which is very perfect to use, that symbol I have to use to fill these boxes. At first, okay, see, if you observe these questions, some boxes may be filled by 2 or 3 of these symbols. Okay, that in the sense, see, there are some boxes which can be filled by 2 or 3 options, but you just choose any one now. Okay, yeah, empty set and then n. It is very clear that empty set is an element of n. Since empty set is in n, then I will write the symbol belongs to. Okay, so empty set is belongs to n because in my bag there is an element which is empty. And singleton alpha, you see that alpha is an element of n. If anybody asks you to write a symbol between alpha and n, then I use belongs to. But here what they are asking, singleton alpha. See, singleton alpha is a set, and in this set alpha is an element, and this alpha is in the given set. That in the sense every element of this set is in n, then I need to use subset symbol here. Okay, this is a singleton subset of that given n. And then set containing beta, look there. See, set containing beta, this beta is not there in n. If beta is there in n, then I use subset symbol just like this. But singleton beta directly is an element of that n, then I need to use belongs to symbol between these two. And then n and set containing empty set. Empty set is an element and set containing empty set is a set. Okay, then this is a subset of n. So here n is a superset of set containing singleton set, empty set. Okay, just have a look this. Based on this, you just try to fill the other. Then what you say about the symbol between this set containing alpha, beta and n? See, look there. See, to use belongs to, is there any set containing alpha, beta in n? No. We have a set containing gamma, comma, delta in n, but we don't have this element in n. So no chance to use belongs to here. Okay, right. Is there any possibility to use a subset there? See, to use a set, a symbol subset here, these two elements must be in n, but these two elements are also not in n, right? So alpha is there in n, but beta is not there in n. Singleton beta is there, but beta is not there. That's why these two elements are not in n, so don't use subset. And this element is directly not in n, then don't use belongs to. Then there is a chance to use not belongs to symbol, because these two elements are not there in n. Okay. And then coming to set containing alpha and singleton beta. It is very clear, alpha is there in n as well as singleton beta is also there in n. These two elements are the elements of n. So this set containing these two elements is a subset. And the next thing, set containing gamma comma delta. Set containing gamma comma delta is there in this n. Okay. Then what I need to use? This set containing gamma comma delta is an element of this n. Okay. So since it is an element of this n, I may use that this set containing gamma comma delta is just belongs to n. Okay. I may use like this, but I don't have any option to fill here. Okay. Yeah. Right. Or you may say these are not equal. If you use not equal to say, no problem. But the proper way is this set containing gamma comma delta is an element of n, but there is no relation from n to this element. Okay. And the last thing, n and then gamma. Again the same task. Gamma is not there in n. Okay. So n and that gamma, they are not equal. That gamma is not belongs to n. You can use any symbol. Okay. These two are and then actually different. This is not a set also. This n is a set. This gamma is an element. A set and an element. Between those two we need to use either belongs to or not belongs to. But those two are also not proper, okay, because this side is nn and that side is gamma. So this is actually a meaningless task. Is it right? So just think about it. So in this way you need to get an idea based on the elements of the set, based on the element and the subset of the given set. Okay, just have a look. We need to count the number of subsets. Okay, just have a look. I will give you some examples. If I have a set containing some alpha, then subsets. What are the subsets for this set containing alpha? Empty set and set containing alpha only. Okay, you may say it as 7a. And for suppose B, if I have a set containing elements like alpha, beta, then what are the subsets of this set? See, these subsets are nothing but empty set is a subset. Set containing alpha, set containing beta are the subsets. Set containing alpha comma beta is again a subset. 0 element subsets, 1 element subsets, 2 element subsets. Okay. C, set containing alpha, beta, gamma. Again, this is a singleton empty subset. And set containing alpha, set containing beta, set containing gamma are the singleton subsets, 1 element subsets. Set containing alpha, beta, gamma, set containing beta, gamma, set containing gamma, alpha, and again set containing alpha, beta, gamma. 3 element subsets and 2 element subsets. In the same way, if you go for D, set containing alpha, beta, gamma, delta. How many subsets you may get? Okay, that's what we are searching for. You just look there. Here the number of elements in the set is 1 and the total number of subsets are 2. Here the number of elements are 2 and the number of subsets are 2 square. Here the number of elements are 3 and the number of subsets are 2 cube. Is it clear? And here the number of elements are 4 and you list all those elements like this, then you will get the number of subsets are 2 power 4. Okay, that's the idea. So at the end what I will conclude you is, if I have a set containing n elements, then the number of subsets is just nothing but 2 power n. Okay, see, I will conclude it after this. Just have a look at this and go for a screenshot, and I will give you E where I will conclude this statement. Okay, can I clear this? Right. Yeah. See, for example, for 7e, okay, I have a set P. I have a set P, and number of elements in that set P is n. If you say number of elements in set P is n, then number of subsets is equals to number of subsets is equals to. So the number of subsets are just nothing but 2 power n. Without listing directly, there is a chance to say that number of subsets of a given set is 2 power n. Just by the observation is one way of discussion. By observing, we announce that the number of subsets is 2 power n. And the other way of discussion is the set P contains how many elements? N elements. And I am going to write subsets. To write a subset, what I have to do? I need to collect some elements from the given set to make a subset. Is it right? So for example, I have a set P. Yeah. For example, I have a set P. Since there are n elements, you just take them as A1, A2 and so on, AN. These are the n elements. And now, subset of P I need to find out. To find out a subset of P, actually, for example, I am going to make a subset of P. Okay? This is P and I am going to make a subset of P. So, how many chances I have to make this subset of P will give us those number of subsets. Is it clear? So, as per this discussion, I have 2 power n chances to get the number of subsets. Right. See, the first part is 7e and then 7f. In 7e, I am going to count the number of subsets. Okay, just example, as per the given examples, it is very clear that the number of subsets are 2 power n if the given set has n elements. So, as a theory, how can we generate the 2 power n? If you just look there, I have a set P containing n elements. Since there are n elements in this set, to construct a subset, see, I need to write a subset. So how can I fill this empty space? How can I make this subset? Just by taking few elements of the given set. So for example, if you think about the first element A1, see, this A1 has 2 chances. One chance is it comes under this subset and it is not comes under that subset. See, I need to select some elements from P to include in this set. Then I will have a subset. So A1 may be in my selection, may not be in my selection. So that means A1 has 2 possibilities. Coming to A2, again the second element also has 2 possibilities. It may be in my selection and it may not be in my selection. So coming to A3, the third element also has 2 chances. May be in my selection, may not be in my selection. Likewise, if you count, if you observe, I wrote here, every element has 2 chances. Every element has 2 chances. One chance is including in my selection and the other chance is out of my selection. So, totally how many chances I have to make this subset? Since every element has 2 chances, the total chances to form a subset are just nothing but 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 for n times, because there are n elements and that product is directly 2 power n. So, since I have 2 power n chances to make this subset, then every chance will give us one subset and those subsets are 2 power n. Okay? As a theory, we will generate the number of subsets of a set as 2 power n like this. And other simple way is just by observing some examples. Just I mentioned you in 7a, b, c, d like that. Okay? Now I have subsets. Now coming to 7f. See, I have a set P and number of elements in set P is n. If set P contains n elements, then the number of subsets is equals to 2 power n as we mentioned. Okay? In the previous point 6, for suppose if I have subsets, among all those subsets, I have only one empty subset and all the remaining are non-empty subsets. That's one way of classification. In that way, if you think, how many empty subsets a set has? Only one. So the number of empty subsets is equals to 1. Since empty subset is the only empty subset, all the remaining are non-empty, then the number of non-empty subsets are, you need to subtract this one from the total subsets, so 2 power n minus 1. This is one part. And in the other part, leave about that empty concept, think about the proper and improper. For suppose if you have 2 power n subsets, among all those 2 power n list of subsets, the last one, the set itself, is the only improper subset. So every set has one and only one improper subset. So the number of improper subsets is again 1. Since there is one and only one improper subset, then we say all the remaining 2 power n minus that improper gives us proper subsets. So the number of proper subsets are 2 power n minus 1. And then if anybody asks you to count the number of non-empty proper subsets, you just think about that word, non-empty proper subsets. See, since I need non-empty proper subsets, from the list of all the subsets, I need to eliminate empty subset and I need to eliminate the set itself. Okay. See, the last set containing all its elements is the improper, eliminate it, and empty set, the first one, eliminate it, and the middle we have different subsets. If you count all those things, just we eliminated 2, then the number of non-empty proper subsets are 2 power n minus 2. Just have a look at this. This is the way of calculating the number of subsets, empty subsets, proper subsets and everything. Okay, just have a look. See, this classification needs is preliminary knowledge related to the subsets. If you list out all the subsets, these subsets can be classified in 2 ways. One way is empty and non-empty. Other way is proper and improper. There is only one empty subset, all the remaining are non-empty. That classification is clear. And coming to the proper and improper, there is only one improper subset and all the remaining are proper. And that's why every set has one empty subset, 1, and every set has one improper subset, 1. See, to count the empty subset and the improper subset, no need to think about the number of elements. See, don't think about n, directly it is 1. Okay, just look at this, n, 2 power n all the subsets, non-empty 2 power n minus 1, proper 2 power n minus 1, non-empty proper means 2 power n minus 2. That's the thing. Just have a look, go for a screenshot.